I mean, for Justin Ross, that that was a big environment for him Saturday in front of 80,000 people that were cheering from you, and now it's going to be like the opposite this week. But at the same time, Coach Sweeney tells our guys all the time that external factors should not have an impact on our execution, and if it does, then we're not going to be a consistent team. And something that Tony and I talk to the offense about all the time is kind of this offense's DNA. Even though that some of these guys that have played in those big games maybe have moved on and are in the NFL, but our team and our offense, I mean, this is just like a normal game. I believe 15 of our last 16 road games are at night. I know last year and the last couple of years we got some big road games at night versus ranked opponents. I mean, that's more normal than going somewhere and playing in a very quiet environment at noon. And so just kind of reminding them who they are, and really the fact that the only thing that's going to matter come Saturday night is how we execute, and we shouldn't let those external factors have an impact on that.
Coach, Trevion was kind of banged up at the end of camp. How good was it to see him come in and make that big third down catch? And Coach Sweeney said back in July that he was the unquestioned leader of the wide receivers. Do you still think he is?
Yeah, I think Trevion and Hunter are both our leaders. They're both fifth-year seniors. We were at dinner the other night, and Trevion and Hunter and myself were trying to count up how many fifth-year senior wideouts that I've had in the 10 years. I've had a lot of three-and-done guys, but I haven't had as many guys that have been here for 5 years. So it's a luxury to have those guys that have been here for a long time and have a lot of experience. I mean, Trevion in our mind as coaches, he's a starter. It just happens to be that we start with 3 wideouts instead of 4. But, I mean, he's in that category with those other guys because of what he's done on our practice field and then what he's done in the past. But that was great to see him go make that play, and was not a surprise at all for us as coaches because he's been one of the most consistent and effective guys this spring and fall camp. So hopefully that'll continue, and I expect it will.
How many did you come up with?
How many
How many seniors did you come up with?
We did not get to the exact count, but I'm gonna go look that up. Yeah, not many. I think Sharon Peak, because of his injury, he ended up being in that count. I'm sure y'all could probably tell me quicker than I can figure it out.
Yeah, excuse the random nature of this question to get to a point, but is there a way to define the quarterback system right now? You don't want to think of it as maybe a strict platoon or a 2-quarterback system, or is it no, it's more one guy and then we're going to get another guy who just snaps? Is there a way to kind of define where you think it's at right now?
I think the way to define it is that they're a part of the Clemson offense. I mean, Tony and I are co-coordinators. We're part of coordinating the Clemson offense. I mean, all the wide receivers. I mean, go at every position, really. Offensive line. I mean, how many guys? We play 8, 9 guys a game. Go to tight end, play 4 to 5 a game, regardless of who we play. We're going to play 9 to 10 wideouts a game. We're going to play 4 running backs a game. And now it just so happens that we're going to play at least 2 quarterbacks a game. And so for us, it's not a major deal. It's not something that we spend a lot of time talking about. I think if, I said this before, some people are playing 2 quarterbacks because they're trying to find out if they have one good enough to win with. That's a whole different conversation. That's a whole different worry as a coach. For our situation, it's, you got 2 guys that are very effective that bring. They're similar in some ways, but they're different in some ways in what they can bring to the offense. But, we don't call the game any different with either of those guys in there. And my wide receivers, I mean, to be honest, we don't get in the huddle and say, all right, who's in? Okay, he's in. All right, I'm going to run this route a little different. I mean, I have to remind myself when I'm going back after the game and kind of trying to figure out. I was doing that Saturday on the way home, trying to figure out what quarterback was in on some of the different series, and I had to go back to watch the video. And but we take a lot of pride. Coach Sweeney takes a lot of pride in playing a lot of people. We take a lot of pride offensively. Number one, to play a lot of people, you have to have recruited well. You don't want to just play people to play people. They need to be good enough to help you go win. And then number two is, you have to have a lot of guys prepared and they have to put in the work. And both of those guys have. We would be thrilled if we just had one of any of those three. And so it's, it is what it is right now. Let them go play. And until anything changes, it's not a concern for us or anything like that.
Is it fair to say then that if you went the entirety of the season with both of those guys getting a decent number of reps in each game, that'd be okay with you? Or is the goal still ideally by week 5, 6, 7, you'd love to have one guy that's got established himself?
I think the ideal scenario for us is that they both play well, and we'll figure out from there, but obviously Coach Sweeney would be the one that would have the ultimate say. We hadn't even talked about that. We just said, hey, they did a good job Saturday, and as long as they do a good job in practice this week, we're going to keep playing them, and hopefully they'll both play well all year long. And that's literally as far as we've gotten. But do I think it's a benefit if you legitimately have two guys that you can win with and both of them get a chance to play? Yes, I do, because at some point, somebody may get hurt, and you're not pulling a guy off the bench that hadn't played all year, to be honest, we have not talked past. We talked about Furman, and we talked about our general thoughts going into A&M, and it's literally where we are right now.
Which I imagine you would like to avoid putting Trevor inside his own 10-yard line like you did a couple of times on Saturday. How much will those considerations be a factor, just his first time in a road environment despite his obvious poise?
I don't think there's any concern for us. I don't think we're going to, I don't think we feel like we have to protect Trevor from anything. I don't feel like we have to protect Kelly from anything. Is this the first time those true freshmen are going on the road? Is this the first time that our team has gone to Texas A&M? The stadium looks different, a lot of people, all that. Absolutely. But I don't think it's a situation where we feel like we got to protect either of those guys. I think it's literally, letting those guys go out and play and execute the offense. And again, our thought process is really from the inside out. So whether we start, may do some things different, obviously, schematically when you start at the one. But we go out in the field, we want to execute. We want to be worried about what we're doing and not worried about where you are on the field in those type of situations.
Jeff, Sharon Peak is a guy that had a very up and down career here with injuries and lost another year to injury last year. What was kind of your reaction when you heard he got off the bubble and was able to stick with the Jets?
Well, that's one good thing when these scouts come through in fall camp, and they come and obviously ask us questions about our current guys. I like to ask them how our guys that are in the NFL are doing. And I know talking to the guys with the Jets, they were really pleased with Sharon, had a good offseason, had done a good job. So I wasn't, to be honest, I wasn't surprised whenever I saw that he made it, because I've been hearing some really good things, and I've talked to him from time to time. But he's always been a guy, great size, can run, helps on special teams. And his biggest thing is just being able to stay healthy. And so I'm glad, I'm hoping he can have a healthy and productive season this year. But I was happy to see that, but not surprised based off the intel that I'd been getting from some of those NFL guys last month or so.
Have you been to a game at Texas A&M?
I have not. I've been to a lot of ACC and SEC places, but obviously with Texas A&M just joining the SEC a couple years ago, so one place that I have not been to. So I'm looking forward to it.
You're well aware of that debacle the last time Clemson went down there, right, with the bus and the staying an hour away.
Yeah, I wasn't on that trip. There's only, I guess there's a 4-year window from whenever I finished playing to when I came back,
Yeah.
and that was during that window. But yeah, I've heard about that, but not recently.
Y'all make sure the bus has air conditioning in there?
Yeah, I'm sure. I think hopefully we'll have AC. But if not, we'll deal with it. We'll be all right.
You kind of touched on it a little bit with the game planning process, but how much does the two quarterbacks factor into this game plan that you have for this weekend? And you said you kind of worked that out.
Yeah, I think for us right now, at this part in the year, it doesn't have a tremendous impact on us game planning. I mean, we feel Kelly can throw it and run it. We feel that Trevor can throw it and run it. And obviously we just have one game of both of them being out there. But our mindset is, hey, it doesn't matter who's at quarterback. I mean, and we've recruited. Obviously, if we recruited a drastically different type quarterback, then that may have to be done. But I mean, we recruited all of those guys, all three of those guys, to our system, knowing what we want to do offensively. So in our mindset, when we're game planning, we're not game planning or earmarking certain plays or certain situations for either of those guys. I mean, it's the same conversation we have at wideout. I mean, I have to tell my guys, they got to be ready. It doesn't matter if T. Higgins is in there or Justin Ross. If it's 3rd and 4 and we're throwing you a slant, you got to go win. We can't sit here and game plan for different guys in different situations. You can't play very fast doing that. So we want all the guys to be prepared for that, and quarterbacks, same way.
How fluid is that plan going in quarterback? Like if you said, hey, we want to get Trevor in on the 3rd drive, Kelly looks great on the first 2 drives, is it a set plan, or will you be kind of fluid as the game goes along?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the head coach, kind of decisions and gut feel and all those type of things as games go. But I think generally within our, walls, we may have a general plan of how we want to start the game. And then, as the game goes and as it develops, obviously you got to be able to monitor and adjust, just like I do with